For many watching tonight, the term "read the writing on the wall" will bring Facebook to mind.
Yes, but for others, it's a reminder of the days when most of our messages were written out in longhand, also known as cursive writing.
But the question tonight, are keyboards, text messages, and smartphones all making this an unnecessary skill? Well, our Mina Ree is finding out.
And it's a lot like the letter L.
Are the fancy loops and flowing curves going the way of the quill and inkwell? Cursive writing has been around for centuries, but may become a lost art, thanks to its arch nemesis, the computer.
As more classroom time is spent teaching keyboarding lessons, a lot of educators admit the writing is on the wall. In fact, 44 out of the 52 states have made cursive writing optional, and 2 of them have gotten rid of it from the curriculum altogether.
It's still being taught here in Ontario, but stacked up against teaching technology, many question the relevance of learning penmanship in the 21st century.
Write emails, blog posts, tweets. We have all different forms of communication, and I think it's important to give students that sort of competence rather than necessarily spending a lot of time on handwriting.
That from an English professor who expects essays to be done on a word processor.
We really want to try to keep the size.
At the Waldorf Academy, students go beyond the ministry guidelines, learning the fancier letters in early grades, in large part because research has shown there's better retention of material.
The parts of the brain that have to do with language and have to do with working memory, which is sort of like human RAM, is much more effectively engaged by handwriting something versus typing it.
So how does the fluid script measure up?
Typing is way easier than cursive. It's a little easier than printing.
Really? How come?
Well, because you attach the letters a lot.
Sure, there's nostalgia when we think about cursive's slow death, but just how much do we use it in everyday life?
I'm wondering if you guys can spell the word zoo with a capital Z in cursive.
Are you kidding? He's a familiar face. Rosie, hey. Do you know how to spell zebra?
Capital Z.
How about this?
B going into the
So I'm busted.
I don't think I can.
You don't think you can write this?
I don't even know what a G in cursive looks like.
See? Couldn't even do the first letter.
Now, of course, this raises the question of how future generations will be able to read historical documents or sign their John Hancocks altogether. What will happen to signatures? Will they be reduced to forgeable block letters? Can you imagine that?
No.
We'll have to teach them how to sign. I assume yours are both in cursive.
Yes, they are,
After all those years of practicing. The fact is, how often do you use cursive, though? I mean, aside from maybe a Post-it note every once in a while?
It's true. You know what I find is I on occasion get a letter from a friend of mine who's of another generation, and she writes everything in longhand, and I struggle a little bit sometimes to read it because I'm not used to reading a personal penmanship. Yeah.
No, they're emails.
Yeah,
but you know what?
I'm so used to that.
Thank you cards are on the way back.
Yes, they are, and they have to be written.
And they have to be written.
Handwritten.
Because it would be a shame that stuff we take for granted like this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're never going to have anyone's letters or personal
more love
thoughts
letters.
anymore. No more love letters. Yeah.
That's another story.
They're interchangeable. Fill in the blanks.
Thank you, Mina.
Still ahead.